Now, the National Ambulance Service says it will be pushing for some operational reforms to increase security for its personnel. This resolve follows recent attacks on emergency medical technicians, latest of which was the shooting of 40-year-old Abraham Tete while he was transporting a pregnant lady from Akuse to Koforidua. We'll hear from the Eastern Regional Director of the service shortly, but first, my colleague Manuel Kranting was at the ICU of the Neurosurgical Department of the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital and reports as many as 6 bullets were retrieved from the Abraham's body after several hours of surgery.
It was supposed to be just another one of the numerous distress calls he had answered as an emergency medical technician with the National Ambulance Service. Mindful of the seriousness of his task, Abraham Tete Homoku set out to transport a pregnant woman in labor from the Akuse Government Hospital to the Eastern Regional Hospital in Koforidua. But this was not to end well, as robbers attacked his ambulance and shot him multiple times, leaving him for dead. A journey which started with him transporting a patient on Thursday dawn ended with him being driven to the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital.
Injured and had been brought in unconscious and not being able to breathe, with gunshot injuries right from the head through the face into the chest and into the abdomen. And so we all rushed there. I joined them.
As bad as his condition was, it would take more than 10 specialists to stabilize him.
It was very bad. We had to put him on a ventilator, a transport ventilator. We secured his airways with an endocardial tube and then put him on a ventilator and started giving oxygen whilst we were giving high fluids to stabilize him. In fact, it was all hands on deck, and virtually every staff in the emergency came over for us to stabilize him. There were a lot. In fact, over 10 specialists have been involved in this case. Over 10 specialists. In fact, you have specialists from radiology, from anesthesia, from neurosurgery, from cardiothoracic, from emergency medicine, from orthopedics. And then you have emergency nurses, plenty of us, were with him, including even the DDNS was there. We were all there. So everybody important was there. Yes, you have over 10 specialists taking care. Because
Abraham's father, Mr. Gilbert Homoku, after seeing his son at the neurosurgical ICU, struggled to hold on to any hope of his survival.
You saw him?
I saw him, Philip. I saw him.
Tell me, what did you see? I mean, how was he?
In a serious intensive ICU, intensive unit. That was where he was put on. All machines, mouth, ear, everything. He even could not open the eye because they plastered the eye, the ear, everything. It's serious.
How does that make you feel as a father?
I don't have any hope. But now that the doctors are telling me to have hope, in the name of God, I may have hope, but I don't have hope.
But his wife, Dora, is unwavering in her belief that, come what may, the father of her 2 children will slam out of the situation even stronger.
Because I know the Lord I'm serving. You never put on to shame. You know, you don't wake up. You wake up.
You wake up.
You will not die. That's why I believe it. That he saved a lot of people's life. So he will not die like that. My husband will not die like that. Now, I believe myself and I believe God that God can do anything. And I say, you know, so I believe. And I will not say any tears here because I know I'm working with somebody. Angels. And they'll guide me. He will not die. He will never die.
We agree. We are with you. We are with you in that. And take heart. We are all waiting for him to wake up, and we'll be here with you when he eventually wakes up. Okay? Thank you.
I'm begging everybody to do everything and save his life.
Want the nation to join you in prayer?
Oh yeah. And I believe in God. Yes.
Thank you. Great. So that's my interaction with the wife of Mr. Abraham Tete. And you heard her say that she believes indeed that her husband will not die and that he will wake up. That's the belief that he has. It's a call to the entire nation to join them in prayers as they wait for Mr. Abraham Tete to slam out of that coma. From here at the neurosurgical ICU at the Korle-Bu Teaching Hospital, my name is Manuel Kranting for Joy News.
Surely must not die for trying to save another's life. Now we can hear from the Eastern Regional Director of the National Ambulance Service, Michael Ghani, who says the increasing number of violent attacks being visited on personnel of the service calls for a review of the operational protocols, which is being considered.
This is not the first time. This is not the first time. We have had incidents of robbery attacks on the personnel of the National Ambulance Service. You can talk of the Nadoli, you can talk of the Funsi, you can talk of Wa and even Dambai and all places. You know, it do happen. Yeah, it do happen. Even just last month in Greater Accra here, our men were dispatched to a residency for a case. Upon our arrival, they realized that the patient, after the detailed assessment, realized that no, this person, there was no life in this patient. So they were trying to get a medical confirmation, and the relative sense that their relative has passed on. And what they did was that they insisted that our men carry the corpse in the ambulance, and they said, no, if you know your relative has passed on, we really don't carry corpse in with these vehicles. They held them hostage for several hours, and you saw it. It came in the media, where the police are currently investigating. So, as I was saying, this, is becoming something that we ourselves cannot understand. Do you get that? So it's a concern. It's a concern. It and
be addressed, right? How will it be addressed?
That is why I believe the management of the service, as I said, after we are able to go through this, will be taking certain measures and interventions to, save the situation.